learn, how did you kind of market yourself at first? Was it all organic growth? Did you go the way of the website? Like, how did that all happen?
So like just like you said, kind of watching Matt and JoJo's YouTube channel with Snow Strong Hauling, and a few other people as well. I don't think Andrew was as active as he was the past year and a half, 2 years on YouTube, but they would always bring up, post on your local community pages and things like that, next door, and word of mouth, door hangers, things like that. How I got started, I really did listen to them when it came to the SEO thing, and I spent a lot of time on that, right? But when I first started, I just posted my landing page on Google, and it wasn't anything fancy. I paid maybe a couple $100 for a landing page I made, and you know, and then I just started posting on Nextdoor of just the truck and the trailer, or just the trailer. Hey, junk removal and hauling services. And then I started posting the before and after photos on Nextdoor, and I just started getting calls. It was a little slow in the beginning. It was popping up here and there, and then I started getting the Google hits, and then it was Google and Nextdoor. But really, Nextdoor was really, at the time, was pretty powerful for me, and it really gave me the push and the boost I needed to get things rolling, and to really start showing people, like, hey, like, give us a call, like, we're the guys. Because right here where I first started, they didn't really have nothing like this, so I kind of came in and um, took advantage of that, and I just was like, hey, you know what, we're going to be the best service possible to the customers. We don't have everything top notch. We did come in with our hats or uniforms. I had that. I slapped the magnets on the truck. I guess the ghetto setup at the time.
Let me ask you,
Um,
Isaac, were you a tech savvy kind of guy? Were you like a social media guy before this, or no?
no, I was off of social media for like 7 years. Like when I graduated high school, because I knew I wanted to be a police officer. And a lot of the guys that I talked to, like, hey, be careful with that. You know,
Yeah.
be careful with social media. So I was like, you know what? I was all gun ho about that at the time. I was like, I'm just gonna get off social media anyway. You know what I mean? And I was like, I just felt like, hey, you know what? I got my girl. We're good. I wasn't really like, oh, I need to post all my life on social. And when I started the business, I decided, I was like, hey, man, I got to get on social media, Instagram, and I got to make a Facebook. And that's kind of how it went about. I was uncomfortable at first to start talking on the stories and make videos. I just kind of learned as I went, man, trial and error. And I look back at all the other things I did, like my old content, I was like, dang, like it didn't really look the best. But, as you do this every day, day in and day out, you're going to get better. And it was really just day and night, man, you know, um,
I'm
drove my
surprised that
girlfriend crazy.
I'm surprised you're saying this, brother, because I look at you and I see your social media, and I would think that you were a social media guy. You obviously conduct yourself very well, at networking, and just watching the videos that you're putting out. It's a lot better than the average guy. So that's why I'm a little like shocked to hear this,
Yeah.
man. I would have thought you came from a social media background. But Miguel
No.
says, shout out Isaac, Vanilla Gorilla, sheesh. Where'd you get that nickname, brother?
um, I don't know. I'm gonna be. I don't actually. I don't even really remember, to be honest. Um, it just kind of stuck, because I like to lift weights just like you, Paul. I see you're always hitting the iron, and I grew up and always being athletic, and I suffered a few injuries. I kind of let myself go a little bit the past few years, and then I finally got back on the horse, and I actually just got back in my fitness game, because I know it's important. And I guess I was like, I don't know, man. I'm the vanilla gorilla. You know what I mean? Like, because they call, Guido. You should know Guido's gorilla.
Yep.
Are you familiar with Jersey Shore?
Oh, of course, bro. I used to hang out with those guys. They're
It,
from
it,
my area and all. And
so
we used to, I used to live down in Miami, and they
yeah,
used to come and kick it with us over there all the time. And everybody used to say that me and Ronnie were like twins and all that.
yeah. So that's kind of, I was in, at the time, I think I was in high school when they were popular, like 2010, 2011, 2013. And I just loved the Jersey Shore, and they would always call them gorillas. And I'm
Yeah.
actually I'm Sicilian as well.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm mixed, but I do have Italian blood in me. And I don't know, they said gorilla, and I was like, I'm just call myself the vanilla gorilla. And it just kind of stuck, man. It just stuck, and I just leave it there, you know.
Hell yeah.
But Vanilla Gorilla, because I remember I changed it. My cousin was like, "Oh, you changed your username. I really liked the Vanilla Gorilla, so I just changed it back." I was like, it just stuck.
Well, I gotta say this, bro. We didn't like when Jersey Shore came out, man,
Oh,
because
okay.
it went from we were I'm from New York, New Jersey, and all, and back then everybody before Jersey Shore, everybody be like, oh, Sopranos, fucking Goodfellas, and all.
Yeah,
Now Jersey Shore, everybody's like, oh, you a fist pumper, and I'm just like, come on, man.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they were kind of like, when I used to be out there, we were kind of really known out there in the club scene and all that, and they kind of were like the little hang around dudes. They were nobody then, and then all of a sudden they get on this TV show, and now they were like the big thing and all that. But we never kind of looked at them like that. We kind of looked at it as like the little hang around dudes, and but yeah, no, we like them though too. They're cool
The
guys, man. They were fun to
the
talk.
GTL days, the Gymtown Laundry.
I gotta tell you, bro, they got murdered down in Miami, bro. When we used to live down there, they hated them, and they would
Oh my
always
god.
all the local guys. They would show up at the clubs they were at, and they were getting in fights, that whole
Yeah.
season and everything. But if you look back, they were always in a Lambo. They would that was my car, bro. They used to use my car for some of the shots, and they did a few photo shoots with my car and all that, and
Oh,
yeah, I used to live down in South Beach, and we used to run into them on the road, and they all knew me and all that. So, yeah, if you
check
look
you
back,
out.
I was all over that show, man. Like a lot of times we were in the clubs and everything. You'd see me in there a bunch of times and
Yeah,
all.
you were the real Polly. Was it Polly Shore? Or
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. You're the OG Polly. You're the real Polly. They're living your life. All
that's
right.
funny, man. That's funny. So, I want to find out, man. So, what made the big change? Like when did your business just start blowing up? Was it like, was it the organic growth with the yard signs and word of mouth, or was it more when the SEO started kicking in? And how long did that take for that to start kicking in?
I'm gonna tell you this, right? So, like everybody else, they hear about this and that. I hired a couple people off Fiverr, but in my area, nobody. It was not tapped, right? From in my radius, in 30-mile radius, it wasn't tapped, and I don't know what it was. I guess it just was my name or whatever. I guess and then it just wasn't tapped at the time, and all the big boys, because they had Junk King Monterey's right here. Then we got Santa Cruz, 1-800 got junk Santa Cruz. They got Junk King San Jose, 1-800 got junk San Jose. But this was actually out of the service area. So, and this area is growing. It's actually grown like quadruple since I started, especially Gilroy. I mean, it's just the area is just growing because everybody's moving southbound. And I know I got a little off track, but really what it was is I think it was just the perfect storm timing. And I just knew when I seen the logo and it was like boom, 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 boom. I was like, I want this color, this color. And in my mind, I was like, it was all about branding. For me, it was just, I want to build a brand. I want something to break necks, and the marketing. I just knew like, we got to stand out. We got to be just different. And
How long was it until that you got your truck wrapped and all that kind of
it,
stuff?
all that just happened. I was doing magnets for the longest time, and it literally this whole year, this past year, I actually got two dump trailers my first year.
Okay.
So I had the Iron Panther 6x10x4, and then 7 months later I got the PJ, which is the 7x14x4, and then I spent $2,000 on the wall extensions. So it was about 25 yards total, and what I would do is use that for the bigger jobs. But to answer your question, I immediately popped up on Google, number one, right? And then I knew, I was like, okay, the Google reviews. I was like, okay, let's get some Google reviews. And then all the customers I got on Nextdoor, I was like, hey, you know what? If you leave me a positive Google review or a Nextdoor recommendation, of course we're going to give you 5-star service, right? We're going to do the job. We're going to give you a 5-star service, but I'm also, we'll give you a slight little discount if you leave us a positive, a positive recommendation or a Google review. And that's kind of how I got going. And then people were just sharing. And then really what was a pivotal moment, I get a little emotional about it sometimes, because there's a Facebook post I did. I don't know if it was last summer or the summer before. And I did this job and I posted it in one of the community groups, right? And I checked later that day and it had like, I don't know how many shares, 200 plus likes, and just everybody was commenting positive feedback about their experiences with junk on hauling and myself and the team. And they had nothing but good things to say. And I really think that the reputation and just all the people that we helped and I helped, because I did help out a lot of people, um, really just kind of gave us a name, and these are the guys. These are the guys. Like even when people call us up, like, hey, people, I was trying to stay away from this, but now people just call like, hey, is this Isaac? We want to speak to Isaac with Junk On, you know, and they're like, hey, we hear you guys are good, and we want to work with you guys.
We got a question from Mass Dupe Addict. He says, "Did you all need to get CDL?" No, so I could answer that one for him.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need a CDL. I actually just got an NPR dump truck, and the beautiful thing about that is it works with a regular license. You don't have to, and that's one of the added benefits, because if you have to start paying somebody with a CDL license, the salary would be a lot higher and would cut into the profits and all that. So if you are interested in getting in and coming in with that dump truck or a dump trailer, you do not need a CDL. You just, you're all good with a regular license and all. But one of the major things that I'm learning is, when you get these employees and all, you want to check their driving record, because I don't know if you guys notice, but, getting commercial insurance, especially us being in California, it is very, very pricey, especially when you're first getting your first DOT number. We're talking like, could be from 10,000 to 20,000 a year, mattering
Yep.
on, few factors and all. So that is something masked up that you really want to know, from the beginning, is kind of check what the commercial insurance is going to be. I know in a couple other states like Florida and Louisiana are even more money, and we were talking 30-40,000 per truck per year for insuring it. So definitely one of the setbacks in the business and all, but a regular license works well with all the NPRs and the dump trailers.
Yep.
So okay, so how many employees do you have employees now,
So
or are you guys running everything
so
yourself?
now, my pops is actually in the business with me full time.
Okay.
So we have the two trucks, the box truck and the trailers. So we do have a pretty good sized fleet.
I got
So
to
we got
stop you right there. Box truck. Now, tell me, what do you think about the box truck? Is that something you would recommend for people in the beginning?
to to be honest, I wish I had the box truck a long time ago. I before I was against it, right? Because I was like, well, that's double the work and yada yada yada. Now I kind of see the benefits of the box truck, right? I
Can you give
like
me
it.
some of the benefits of it? Like,
So it would be like, let's just say you got a crew, right? Um, you don't got to worry about them driving the truck and the trailer, right? Because the truck and the trailer is great. But if someone doesn't have the best experience driving those, there's going to be an accident real quick. You're gonna have a
yeah,
hard
yeah.
time getting the driveways and stuff like that. So that's one benefit, is you don't really got to worry about that. Two, I liked it because you can just jump in and go instead of unhitching, hitching. And three, it's great because you could protect items for resale.
How does it work with as far as a full load though? You know what I mean? Like what would you charge a full load on a box truck?
Just get the square footage, or the
And
or
the,
the or the yeah, the square footage of, or the cubic square footage of what you charge for the dump trailer. I mean, it goes based off of volume anyway,
yeah.
and how I tell my customers, like, hey, I know it looks a little bit different, right, from what you see, from what we see are two different things, but it's the same amount in regards to yardage. You're getting the same thing, it's just a different vehicle. And I really sell the value, um, for us. I tell the customers, like, hey, the great thing about us is, I know there is a lot of competitors out there. Not trying to bash other companies, but if you were to call, Big Blue, right, their size equipment, plus they're going to charge you X amount plus this and that. With us, this is what you're going to get. You're just paying Big Blue double because you're paying for their overhead. And I could say that right now, right? Because my overhead's, it's not as big as Big Blue. Big Blue's a $500 million company. So and another reason why I like the box truck too is, you could protect your items for resale, plus the marketing on it. I it's already paid for itself. I swear, ever since I got everything wrapped, if we're, let's just say, because we got multiple vehicles, I got the box truck marketing on a high traffic area, park it at a Starbucks. I got so many jobs from that. We just did a pretty good sized job, a couple loads from that box truck. It paid for itself, paid for the wrap, and
Let
and
me ask
um,
you, have you ever tried out the tracking numbers to actual see, what's bringing you in, as far as the marketing, like, Autopilot made by Andrew Thompson. That's that new software that he's got coming out. It's actually in
Yep.
beta testing right now. And when you order that, you get 5 tracking numbers. And the first thing that I did was I made a tracking number just for my truck, just for the logo. So I'm going to know exactly how many people are calling in from just seeing my truck. Then I have another tracking number for the door hangers and yard signs.
Yep.
So how about that? Have you experimented with that at
So
all?
I hit up Andrew. I know he's busy. I can't wait to use. I've been keeping in touch with him. He's supposed to give me a call because I really want to use that system, and I do, and I trust that his software is going to be tailored more for us instead of just a
So
generalized, right, type of software. I am using a software service right now that is, kind of like Workies. I'm using House Call Pro, but I am interested in
what
Autopilot.
can I ask you? What is the price on that, and what plan did you go with that?
So, well, for me now at this point, I pay for the CRM, which is, I think it's like $70 a month. It's very
Okay.
basic. And then I'm paying like 150 for the backup call center for 60 minutes. So if I don't answer the phone, it'll go to, like, it'll back me up. They have a call center, it's 24-hour service, and they have my script, and they take down all the notes of the potential customer, and then it shoots me a text, or it goes to a text as well, and an email, and then I get back to the customer when I can if I don't answer. So I don't really lose that contact with the customer, because I felt that it's $150 extra plus what I'm paying, but I felt like that extra help right there with those contracted employees would would definitely help me look more professional, right? And help me be able to at least not lose that customer, and it has helped. But I think Andrew's
Well,
software is going to change the game.
we got to get you connected right away, brother. So as soon as we
Yeah.
get off this, I'll put you in a group, me, you, and him. It's $50 a month that he's starting off with the beta testing, and he's actually starting beta 2 over at the Junk Expo. So that's
Hmm.
another place you'll be able to talk to him. And he's about to get the call sequencing in, I think in the next month. And that is so when you put your new clients into your logbook, you could set a time frame where it sends like a backup text, like 6
Yep.
months from now, and we're in the area and we're offering a discount and all, just to get repeat business and all, which is just another great thing, resource that you could use. And just the call tracking and everything else that he has with that is just amazing. And what he's doing is he's listening to the feedback from us. So if you like that call service, that's something that we would want to talk to him about and see if we could incorporate that into Autopilot. And you kind of mold Autopilot the way you want, and we're in this like little group where we all kind of throw ideas out, and he's very open the trying new things out. So definitely something guys should check out. I just came an investor with Autopilot. I seen everything. I believe in Andrew and all. So I just invested in, and if you invest in it, you get I think it's a couple years free of and just that alone. I mean, look at like Workies or whatever. I'm hearing it's like $2,500 a year. So an investment of like $5,000, you're already getting that money back just with getting the free software for a couple years. So
Yeah,
definitely something to check out for sure. And then
super important.
we got Chris, I think that's Chris Gambino. Wow, I don't know if that's my boy from New York. That'd be crazy. Are you running everyday operations, Paul, with junk removal business? Not yet, man. I'm gonna be up and running January 1st. I just kind of been getting all my ducks lined up. I just got my truck. It's getting wrapped as we speak. I'm getting it all ready for the Junk Expo. I'm going to park it right out front. And I'm actually bringing my arm wrestling table that day for all my arm wrestlers in here. And I'm going to set it up right with the backdrop of my new logo and everything on the truck. And I'm going to get everybody arm wrestling over at the Junk Expo when we're all done and everything. So that's another cool thing. But yeah, I'm kind of documenting everything through my YouTube. My whole, I just got an office and all, so I have all the videos of me going looking at different office spaces. Also, I just rented out a yard to keep the trucks in and all that. So I'm kind of going at it slow. I could have been up and running like we look at Isaac. He was up and running within 2 weeks, had everything going and all that. Where I'm probably like 4 months in here getting everything set up. But you guys got to remember, I'm running 3 other businesses day to day, so I'm not so much in a rush right now for that. Just got my uniform, my test. My shirts and the hats. Now I tried them on. Now I'm gonna send them out and get a bunch of them made and all that. So that's where I'm at with my business, and I'm learning from guys like this. I'm bringing all the top in the industry on my YouTube channel, and I'm kind of just picking their brain. And Matt and JoJo are like really mentoring me, and any questions I have, I'm hitting up Matt, and this dude is like the expert in the industry. And it just happens to be that we live in the same area. We're actually going out to dinner next week, and it's just been a great thing to have all these mentors kind of just showing me the way. And I mean, me and Isaac were on the phone the other day, and he was just pointing out things that I would have never thought, and I would have made a mistake and all. And as far as my SEO and making my domain name, he kind of put me on with that and all. So I feel blessed the way that I'm coming in with so many people helping me and guide me in the right direction and all. And it's been a fun journey. And like I said, my plan is just to kind of bring it to everybody so you guys could see the whole process of what you got to go through and all, as far as getting the DBA. And that's another question for you, brother. Did you rent a yard, or do you have like a headquarters, like an office or anything that you run your
So,
business out of?
so in the beginning, like I said, I don't know if I said I was renting an office for no reason, basically, just to kind of have my little privacy area where I can just go in and try to figure out what I wanted to do, and ended up turning it into the first office location. I did not have a yard in the beginning. I was parking it. I was parking it in front of the house, truck and trailer attached. I was unhitching it, hitching it up, pissing off the neighbors. I had like 21 complaints until the police department gave me a call, or I got a tag. I remember we went on a quick little vacation. I had a tag on my vehicles, and I was all pissed off. And I called the PD, and I was like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And yada yada. And they're like, "Oh, well, we got X amount of complaints." And I was like, "Well, it moves every 3 days. We were only gone for 2 days, and I have dump receipts and all that." So I was kind of going through that, and then I was parking at a family member's house. That didn't work out until I finally did get a yard, and now it's just at a storage facility right now. And then I do have an office location in South San Jose, my address and everything. Right, I can just go in and tell them like, hey, I need this, I need that, and they keep track of all my mail, and you know,
Is that
very
something
simple.
that you recommend at the beginning, or is it one of those, if you got the funds, yeah, but it's not a necessity and you kind of could
I
grind without it until you get, some
I
cash flow coming in and all?
I would say do it lean.
Yeah.
do it lean, run lean, because in our business, right, we got heavy machinery. Everybody knows we got high gas and diesel costs. My truck's a diesel, and then I have the gas. Um, but hauling and things like that, even though the loads are incorporating the average cost of the dump and all that stuff, the labor, everything should be built into the job. But I would say run lean. I get a virtual business address,
See
right?
that, yeah, but you got to be careful with that, bro. They're cracking down. Google's
Yeah,
cracking
no,
down
no,
on
they
that.
are. They are.
So
I
you could
agree.
go and pay for that, and then next thing you know, because they're asking for a video, they want to see
Yep.
your office setup and all, and that's something they just incorporate in the last few months. I'm finding out, and that's why I was originally going to go to virtual office, and then I heard from a few other people, a lot of the SEO guys, they're like, you're taking a risk with that. So I was like, you know what, I need it for my SEO to get that local SEO, the
Yeah.
pin drop and all. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go get the office and kind of just set myself up. And this way, once I get the employees going and all, I got like a nice meeting place for them that's got a kitchen in there and all
Uh huh.
that. So it's like, I figured, I'm just gonna do this the right way and just, go all in and kind of like, what you did, man. You just kind of forced yourself in and
Yeah.
I'm dropping all this money. That's why when you were saying $3,000 in the bank account and I'm like adding up everything, I mean, I'm over 100K into this
Yeah.
now, and I haven't even started running yet. I bought the truck and the office space, the yard, and all the equipment. I haven't even got all the supplies yet. All as
The,
far as that, like, what do you recommend as far as getting all the equipment you need, the day to day, and all? How did you figure all that out?
I wish I was in your position when I started, right? Um, but then I think about it for me personally. It was just, I think it was the grind. I think I love the grind, but I would say still run lean. Find somebody, find a family member, maybe use their address. You could hide the business address, but you could still get verified with Google, but you could just have a service area, right? You could still have the service area. I know I did that, when I was transitioning offices.
And that'll
Um,
actually work as far as the commercial insurance, because that's the other thing that you need to have an
yeah.
address, and an actual home address would work because the insurance company's looking where you're actually
Yep.
keeping the place. So sometimes when you go with the yard, the commercial insurance doesn't like that. So
Yeah.
that's another thing you kind of got to figure out and get different quotes. And if you need to get in touch with somebody, Toby Stubbs is the guy, and I found him through Matt Vick and Sonoma Strong. I was having, just a nightmare trying to get the commercial insurance. I actually was getting a quote from Progressive, and then, I was telling Matt, I'm like, bro, it's insane, like 17,600. And Matt's like, yo, he's like, hit up this guy, Toby Stubbs. He's out of Chicago, but he is the man with commercial insurance in the junk removal industry. That's all his company does. I hit up Toby and he's like, yo, bro, Progressive can't even cover you. They dropped all junk removal in California. So, they're giving you a quote that's not even going to be able to get locked in, bro. So, he went over everything and, I had to correct a bunch of things that I had wrong, which was really changing the price and just jacking it all up and all. So, guys, when you first get in, man, one of the first things I would do is connect with Toby Stubbs. If you haven't already, check out the interview I did with him. It's on this channel, and just go run through it. And you're going to learn a lot just from that, and a lot of stuff that you really, really need to know. And just a simple conversation with him could save you thousands and thousands of dollars and a lot of headaches and all. So, that's definitely something, I really encourage you to find out. And what is your commercial insurance looking like? I know you didn't go with the dump truck and all, and you went with the Ram truck. So I'm thinking it would be a lot more reasonable. Like, is it a lot more reasonable priced and all?
So I'm going through Progressive. I'm
See,
going through.
how did you even do, like, were you grandfathered in before they dropped?
Yeah, yeah. So I got in before all this stuff happened, because when we were with Allstate, they switched us up like crazy, and then we had to figure out really quick,
Okay.
because it jumped up, and we needed to switch insurances really fast, just because at the time for me, it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive, and you already know, I mean, running a business, there may be a slow time, so for me, I'm always watching what I'm spending, watching what we're spending, and put the money where it needs to be.
That actually
right?
leads me to one of my questions. How do you handle the season fluctuations in demand as far as junk removal? I'm hearing in like the winter time, and we really don't have a winter out here in California. It's a lot better than most, but like in those cooler months and all, and especially around the holidays, does things slow down a lot out here? And like, how do you deal with that?
So for me, like, even like last year, it was pretty consistent. I would say just set your seeds. Like we just did 10,000 door hangers, right? And then
Wow.
we keep a stack, and we offer a promotion. Hey, we giving curbside pickup promotions, things like that. You guys got some extra cardboard, or you guys got a little recliner or a washer or a dryer. Hey, take advantage of this limited time. It's going to be $100, but it has
Now,
to be curbside
did
type
you
of thing.
put out 10,000 door hangers, or you're saying you just ordered 10,000 door
I
hangers?
order 10,000 and we'll do like 2,000 hangers every quarter just in the local area in the hot spots. And I target the areas. I pick the areas, very thoroughly, and I just make sure that, they're in areas where we haven't been or where we want to be, right?
Are you looking in like high value house areas? Like
Yes.
what are you looking for when you're looking for to put door hangers out and all?
So
I think you froze up on me. Are you still there, Isaac? Oh, he's frozen right now. All right, well, we'll wait for him to come back in here, but what we're talking about is, this is organic growth, and organic growth, I mean, we're out hanging door hangers. So if you go and do a job, here he goes, he's added back in. That's
sorry,
crazy,
sorry,
bro.
Paulie. We had a little bit of a
We
lag
have
right there.
two of you on the screen right now. I don't know if you see that, but I see two of you right now. You got twins going on right there. But yeah, back to the door hanger. So tell me about like what are you looking
So,
for in an area with them?
so with the door hangers, really, all this is supplemental, right? But I noticed that these are things that people really aren't doing. These are like old school tactics, door hangers, flyers, and some I feel like after COVID, people lost connection of that. Everything's done over the phone. And if we don't when we don't realize in our industry, it's an older clientele, right? I would say from maybe 28, 30 to 65 plus. We're targeting more of the older generations, retired individuals, and or the white collar type of people, more affluent. But sometimes I'm in a blue collar area. There's a lot of guys that are blue collar workers. They make some good money. They just don't want to do the work on the weekends when they're home because they're out there all week. So I would say pick wisely. Don't be doing the areas where maybe there not might be something there. But again, from my experience, you just really never know. And sometimes actually, if you judge the book by its cover, that might be the wrong thing. If you look towards maybe the older homes, that actually might be a good area to target because guess what? A lot of the baby boomers, unfortunately are passing away. That's what I've realized. And there's a lot of situations where their houses are packed. Their kids moved out. They just have all this stuff that accumulated throughout the years. I've even been in homes where their sons and daughters' rooms are still the same, and they
Wow.
never touched them. Right?
Now let me ask you this. So you do a job on at a house.
Uh huh.
Where do you go and put the door hangers after? And do you also do the yard sign?
I okay. So with the yard signs, I have not experimented with the yard signs yet. The bandit signs. I'm going. The reason why I held off, and I shouldn't have did that. I wasn't too sure on the county stuff. I've been hearing a lot of people that they'll get a phone call or they'll get a fine or for me personally, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of people that I felt if I was gonna spend X amount of, they would tear my signs down,
Mm.
and that's why I was like, you know what, not yet. But I noticed that the door hangers recently they're paying dividends right now. So
let me give you a quick tip on this. This is just hearing from so many different people. So when you go and actually do a job at the house and all, that's the time you want to have your logo yard sign, and you put that out there, and you could offer them even like $10. Be like, can I leave this on here for 2 weeks? And most of the people I'm hearing have no problem with that. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you want to call up your county and actually find out if it's legal or illegal to have the yard signs. If it is, that's when you want to go get a tracking number and go get some bandit signs. And what I'm hearing is the best place to do them is put them up on like a telephone pole, where it's not going to be easy for somebody, like competition or somebody to come and rip it off and all. And, I'm even seeing a lot by the dumps locally. I see up on the telephone poles, and they've been there for, every time I go drive
Yeah.
by and all, they're still there. So that's definitely something that I'm hearing great things, and I'm hearing the yellow and black bandit signs are just killing it. But you definitely want to do the tracking number with that, so it's not coming back to your business telephone. You know what I mean? And plus, it's another way of you knowing how much business you're bringing in with those bandit signs. But I'm hearing that those are the best. Andrew Thompson, he just swears by them. He's saying every 100 he puts out, he's getting 5 jobs from that. You know what I mean? So something that definitely incorporate it into the realm of things for sure.
Thank you, Paulie. And trust me, I have actually a bandit style one made that just says junk removal with the phone number, and I have the one that's branded. The one that's branded would be like for a customer, right? Hey, if we can leave it here for a week or so, 2 weeks, we'll give you, an incentive next time for your next service, or you got to incentivize somebody, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
and I know for a fact that will pay off because I landed 3 jobs the 2 days ago in the same neighborhood from the cleanup, then across the street, and the house over. It was an extra, I think, $500 on top of our full load, and they were happy to pay it, man. The marketing, you gotta market.
Hell yeah.